All right. Happy Wednesday. Woo!
Hell yeah. Wednesday, we are sitting here about, 15 days away from the 2021 NFL draft. And thank God this week is going by fast.
Right. Happy Wednesday.
Because it is, it's almost here. We're on the precipice.
We're on the precipice, word I've never said, but I'm not even sure what it means. But yes, we are very close tonight. We are going to be doing a mock draft, pick 1 through 14, see who those Vikings end up with. And I think it's going to be a goodie. We're going to be talking about some draft flames that, and hopefully you guys will be chiming in as well as we're going through this. But some draft flames that we completely missed on, like not even close on, broke our hearts. Obviously, Andre Patterson. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, and I'm pretty excited.
Well, you should be very excited. We got an action-packed show. We're going to be draft. We're going to also do a little mock, picks 1 through 14, see how things shake out for the Vikings and the draft itself. Just getting plugged in here. So a lot to talk about. There's been a couple rumors going around lately. Nothing too juicy yet, but most of the things going around is just kind of this overall general negative buzz surrounding Justin Fields, which all seems like it's very, very media created to me, or team created, like someone's releasing this bad information about him. The latest yesterday was Mort saying something about his pitching or his throwing motion be too much like a pitcher, which to me is complete and utter bullshit. But if it sends him down the board, that's okay too.
I love this time. I can't wait for the next week and a half of just made up bullshit that will not come to fruition. I can't wait. Mac Jones, before we know it, will be rumored to be the first player off the board.
God, I don't know. I just feel that if the Niners actually take him at 3, it's going to be a horrible, horrible mistake and something they'll regret all their lives.
Well, we're going to find out who we have them taking at 3, and something tells me our mock is going to be spot on.
Yeah, it comes to the point now, are you mocking with your head, or are you mocking with your heart? What you want to see happen or what you think will happen? I've always been a guy who I just can't shake what I think teams should do instead of what I think they're actually going to do. So you got to make that clear when we do the mock as well.
No, I'm going with my head. I'm going with what I think is going to happen.
Well, if that's going to be the situation, I'll also do that. I will not go with my heart, even though I have certain beliefs. But I don't want this mock to be vanilla, though, so maybe I will mix it up.
Well, just because I'm going to pick the players where I think they're going to go doesn't mean it's not going to be vanilla. It's going to be a mint chocolate chip with a scoop of Lupagus on top of it.
This ain't going to be no missionary mock. I'll tell you that.
Oh, God. Does that even exist? Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about really the only Viking news of the day, and really the only Viking news of quite some time. Andre Patterson is officially co-head coach.
Assistant head coach.
What you call it.
Assistant head coach. Great for him. Well-deserved. This guy, his track record is insane. What he's done with Daniel Hunter, his work with Everson Griffin in the past. He has to have some guys who didn't quite adapt or adhere to his teaching. Jalen Holmes is one of these ones that didn't really pan out. Jaleel Johnson seems to have better track record with defensive ends than he does with his defensive linemen. But again, a well-respected coach in the league, and this is a long time coming. So good for Andre Patterson. Vikings also added Robert Steeples to the coaching staff, assistant special teams coach, and Marquise Johnson as strength and conditioning. So filling out the staff, to me, it feels like it's a little late in this is kind of stuff you usually hear in January, February. But again, I guess the coaching staff is now complete.
Well, they can add you and me to the defensive coaching staff. We know who's running that ship. Patterson, I still just think it's lame as hell that he's co-defensive coordinator. Does any other teams do that? It just burns my ass that he's a co-defensive, and then he's a defensive line. That dude's got more titles than Ultimate Warrior in the 80s.
Man, he did have a lot. He did have a lot. He was never a king, though.
Should have been. A lot of intercontinental champions.
Heavyweight. I wonder, he might even have the tag team titles for a week or something.
Yeah, so Patterson, well-deserved. Hopefully someday, he's got quite the track record. Hopefully someday he gets some sort of head coaching job.
Yeah, we can hope so. All we can do is really hope so. And if he does, he'll probably go win the Super Bowl like some of the other Vikings old coaches that have been here. So, that's the way it goes. Oh, my God, he's having a bowl of mint chocolate chip right now.
I don't believe him.
Well,
I don't believe him one damn bit.
pitcher.
Julian Marker, yes, Mike Pierce is in town. Big number 97. 97. Ending the dreams of Everson Griffin ever coming back.
Well, maybe they do the number change and he goes with 79 or something. Something like that. Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. I think we'll definitely not see Everson Griffin come back.
Griffer.
Go Griffer.
Let's see. We got some defense, some edge talk here. As always, either people seem to be definitely want an edge rusher or completely against it. There's nothing in between. SSM Creations does love Kwity Paye though.
Yeah, the one I love is Greg Russo again. I think now you're taking him down later if you trade back a little bit. Kwity Paye, yeah, I'd be fine with it. I love his motor, but his size isn't really ideal. But to me, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be pissed off with the pick. Good to see Venomous Nemesis back. But yeah, I don't know. And we were just talking this before we started. There's not a whole lot of options that really get me just excited. Rashawn Slater would be the one I'm going to be pulling for to follow, one of the receivers. As we get closer to the draft, I'm just, I'd be fine with getting one of these guys who can start right away and help us on the O-line. But I don't know. Just not blowing me away at 14.
Viking Jerome, Jalen Phillips over Kwity Paye. I would rather have Ben Cleveland over Jalen Phillips at pick 14. I want to be very clear about that.
Yeah, and again, it comes down to the injuries. You can't invest this high of a pick on a guy with that kind of an injury history. It's not like it's a head, it's concussions, it's history, and that is very serious. And you don't want to have a guy that you could lose within a year if he takes a couple shots to the head. So I just don't know why he's still getting all this first round buzz, especially the Vikings. I think was it Daniel Jeremiah had him going there in his latest first round mock. There's just too much risk there.
I just saw Greg Russo going in round 3 in a mock draft, by the way. I can't remember which one it was, but it was actually pretty. It wasn't just like Bob Johnson, my neighbor.
Yeah, it's weird. You see him doing that, and you see, Jeremiah's got him ranked like 11 overall in the entire draft. You've seen Vera Tucker falling lately, so it's going to be crazy. I would actually be shocked, if we don't see some of these crazy things, like a guy we think's going top 15 goes in round 2. I think you better go into this draft expecting the unexpected.
I can't wait for the unexpected. And you know what? Venomous, you're right. It's time. It's time for my phone to ring and get that, at least get a shot at being the kicker.
Look at Big Roo. You better put Big Roo up there.
Big Roo. Big Roo, man. Starting it off hot.
He wants his boy.
Phillips. Wow. 20 minutes away. Higher. I don't believe the talent's there. That's not the issue.
Yeah, that's not the problem.
If he stays healthy, there's no doubt that he is going to rip shit up. And in 2 years, be like, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't want Jalen Phillips. I remember a time I didn't want Aaron Donald, and I didn't really have a very good reason why. I just didn't want him. So I am clearly a fool, but I'm pulling for Phillips. I just don't want to take the risk.
Yeah. The other thing too was we were pissed when they took Kevin Williams. So I mean, it's
wanted Jimmy Kennedy.
No, that was Terrell Suggs. I think we were on.
We wanted either one.
I wasn't Kennedy the year after. I think he was the year after.
Maybe. I'm going to look that up. Patrick Harms. This is a baseball bat that Lupagus got me.
It's from Dugout Mugs. Try them out. Not a sponsor, but we're pushing it.
No affiliation, but it works pretty well. A little tippy.
Is it?
And no, it's all right. Julian Marker, Asante Samuel Jr. I think that's a dude that's going to go sooner than anybody expects. I love that guy, and mostly because of just who he is.
Well, but he doesn't have great size, but this guy's physical as hell. He will whip guys to the turf. Very mean tackler. Patrick Harms confirms it was the same year.
Yeah, there was a lot of defensive players in that year, and Kevin Williams was not one that we wanted. All right, do we want to do the mock draft first, or we want to talk about let's talk about some guys that we really missed on over the years?
Yeah, and every draft you fall in love with certain prospects. You kind of pound the table for them when we're putting our board together or watching the draft together. Guys we love. A couple years ago I was really big on Charles Omanau. I think he ended up going round 4. I think I was really.
Wasn't it only like 1 year ago?
No, I'm just talking a recent one, but I thought he was a second rounder, ended up going I think around 4 or 5. So you just never know. And man, I've had some really bad misses over the years.
Yeah, I went back about 10 years and just looked at guys more so just guys that I thought were going to be really good that turned out to be shit. Not so much that I thought the Vikings were going to get them, but just guys that really shit the bed. So let's just ramble through some of these. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna say my biggest one for the end because I think you know who that's gonna be. But let's just go back. I'm gonna go way back and start here with a guy the Vikings actually took, and I was very excited for. This is back in 2005. Rasmus James. I thought the Vikings got themselves a damn steal. I think that was their second pick that year, pick 18, after pissing everybody off taking Troy Williamson. We got Rasmus James. I thought this was a gift from the Lord himself. But Rasmus James, he had a decent start to his rookies. I think did he hold out? But he ended up having 4 sacks as a rookie. He had just 1 sack after that, 38 career tackles. He actually hung around the Vikings for 3 years, and then he ended up with Washington. But, man, what a bust Erasmus James turned out to be.
And, yes, Patrick, Jimmy Kennedy was a Viking. I think it was for 2 years. I think it was like a year and a half.
Hey, we got our wish.
We got it. A little too late. Venomous. Boom. Oh, wow. Thank you, sir.
What a guy.
Venomous, one of the OGs. Fantastic. Back way back in the day. Way back in the day. All right. I'm gonna I got a shit ton of these guys.
Oh, I was just gonna I can go more. I was just going back. We're going back and forth a little bit here.
No, well, I got some Vikings misses. Spielman gets a lot of love for some of these guys he finds in the mid rounds, but there's no doubt he stepped on his hog quite a few times on some players, and this is just going back 2010. Chris Cook, Toby Gerhart, Nate Triplett. Remember the Nate Triplett pick?
Yeah, you know what? I hated all those picks when they're made. So
I loved Chris Cook. Or no, I didn't. I loved Toby Gerhart.
I didn't understand it. We had Adrian Peterson still in his prime. Why the hell were we using a second-round pick on a running back? We had O-line issues then. That was completely mind-boggling to me. Never a fan of that pick. And, yeah, I hated all those picks. Triplett I liked, but I think we took him like round 4 or 5.
Round 5, he was a gopher.
He should have been undrafted. So, yes. And if you're going to name Vikings drafts, you got to go back to 07, where we thought –
that's too soon. Too soon.
Too soon to go back to 07?
Never mind. I thought you were talking about Williamson. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking about so we're watching this draft. We got Adrian Peterson, Sidney Rice, and then round 3 we get Marcus McCauley. We think that's the biggest deal ever. I think Brian Robinson. We're like, who the hell's that? Then we get Rufus Alexander, Andre Allison.
Yes, Super Bowl.
If we were drafting, we would have made about 5 or 6 of those 7 choices. Turns out, we didn't know shit because Rufus Alexander was a huge bust. Marcus McCauley was a bust. Andre Allison was also a bust.
One of the Brian Robinson was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the 2007 after that draft, we were shit-faced, belly up at the bar. We couldn't believe we already had the Lombardi in our hands.
We did,
and it was crap. But let me just rattle. I'm just because I have my other misses, but just the Vikings ones last 10 years. So let's see. Obviously, 2012, Khalil, Greg Childs. Do you consider Josh Robinson a bust? I mean, that was pretty damn early. Next year, we take Jeff Locke in round 5. Next year, we got Scott Crichton, which was a player ecstatic to get in round 3. No idea why that guy was so bad. He never saw the field. I think he did have some injuries, but that was a dude that was mocked late round 1, early round 2, and also we get him in round 3. And that was the same year as David Yankee.
I don't think we got 2 first-rounders that year. 3, it seems like, with the way that draft unfolded.
Yeah, David Yankee just continues to be our curse at attempting to draft a guard. Year after that, TJ Clemmings. Year after that, the Treadwell Beavers combo. Nothing better than that. And then 17, Elfline, Jaleel Johnson. One guy out of that draft class that was a 6th rounder that I loved before the Vikings took him was Bucky Hodges. I mean, that was a crush that did not pan out.
Yeah, we all.
He actually had a good preseason too.
Yeah, I don't think he made the team that year.
No, he didn't. It sucked.
Yeah. Well, you got to go 19. Look at Mike Hughes. He just didn't pan out. Injuries kind of derailed him. Who knows what his future is going to be if he can salvage what's left of his career? But I I was hoping for Will Hernandez instead of Mike Hughes. Hernandez hasn't been great, but he didn't only let one sack last year to get a grade of 58.1, which should probably be tops on the Vikings interior of their line.
Yeah. And so those are just Vikings.
Yeah.
So now let's get into the guys that we really loved and just really effed up on.
Yeah. Well, one of mine, this is, God, actually, I think he's been in the league longer than I thought. I went back and looked at it, but Miles Killebrew, the safety, shit, I can't remember where he even went to college, but I thought this guy was going to be a second-round steal for the Vikings, had the potential to start opposite Harrison Smith, be a long-term solution there. And, he hasn't been a complete bust. He's hung around, been kind of a special teamer in Detroit. Does have 105 career tackles, 2 interceptions. So Miles Killebrew, yes. The fact his name was Killebrew was extra attractive to me. But, man, I really missed on him.
Yeah, and actually, I remember Bucky Hodges. He went to the Steelers, and he was I can't remember exactly, but yes, Patrick. He was just making some real dumb comments, real dumb comments. Comments, keep them coming as far as guys that you thought were going to be fantastic, whether they came to the Vikings or not. Just a guy that you loved in the draft that turned out to be pure shit. I got one that went to the Bears, 2011, Gabe Karimi. Wisconsin offensive, I believe he was a tackle, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, just sucked. That's it. That's all I got on him. He was supposed to be fantastic. Wisconsin offensive lineman, can't miss. Gabe Karimi comes in. Thankfully, it was on the Bears and was very, very bad.
Yeah, another one, I think a lot of us really, really loved Manti Te'o when he came out.
He's on my list.
Thought he was a can't miss kind of prospect. And then there was these rumors during the draft. Vikings are trading up. They're going to trade up for Manti Te'o. They trade up Cordero Patterson.
Yeah,
that was a better choice. Really, I guess. Te'o hung around the league forever. He did have 307 career tackles. Not a complete and utter bust, but nowhere near what people thought he was going to be. At least the ones who wanted to see him do well. So Manti Te'o definitely one of the ones that got away and just did not pan out.
I want to say Manti Te'o was on somebody's practice squad this year.
Yeah, he might have been.
I think he was on the Lions. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna look it up. Another guy I got, Jake Locker, when we took Christian Ponder, just begging the football gods for Jake Locker to fall. And then I believe the Titans even traded up. I didn't look. Didn't they trade up to snipe him? Or were they already there?
They might have been there, but no, I don't know if people really thought they had him going quarterback, or I think everybody had him going Blaine Gabbert. It was kind of a surprise that the Titans took Locker, I think.
Well, whatever it was, didn't matter. Ponder sucked. Locker just retired extremely early and didn't really look to be that fantastic anyways. But
remember that draft night? We were at that hotel and the guy in the elevator told us that Jake Locker sucks. And we were like, fuck you.
Yeah, turns out he was an insider. He knew exactly what he was talking about.
I knew exactly. Another guy I was very, very, very high on. I think I kept telling you what an athletic freak he was, how he'd be a steal for the Vikings in the second round. Hell, I would have took him in the first round this year. Obi Melifanu, the safety linebacker hybrid. This guy was a specimen freak. Well, that body of his got him 10 tackles in his career in one start. A lot of injuries here. And interesting fact, his brother, Ifeatu, is in this year's draft.
Yeah, he's about, what are they saying? About second, third round prospect?
Yeah, kind of been quiet about him lately, but I think he's going to be a sneaky high pick.
All right, so we got Te'o. I was a big Brian Quick guy. I was a big Chance Warmack guy. I was a big Rashid Hageman guy. I got Reggie Ragland. Laquan Treadwell clearly loved the shit out of that.
So excited.
Another Viking, Matt Khalil, when we got him at 3. Hot damn, I've never been so excited to get an offensive lineman at pick 3. Huh?
We traded back. We took him at 4.
Well, whatever. 3, 4.
Yeah. Remember Brian Price? Didn't we both like that guy too? The DN.
Yep. Yeah. UCLA.
My number one, my biggest draft crush. I actually have a signed car of his on my work desk. Card. Did I say car? Card. I used to send you the Rucker reports, talking about his stats when he have a big game in college. Tight end Martin Rucker. Man, I thought this guy was going to be the next freaking Rob Gronkowski before Rob Gronkowski was Rob Gronkowski. I thought he was the next Tony Gonzalez. Was shocked when he fell to round 4. I couldn't believe it. The Browns
sucked.
got a steal in my mind. Yeah, his career absolutely derailed by injuries. I don't know if it would have panned out if he was healthy. He had 2 catches for 17 yards in his 4th-season career. Every year he played with a new team, went from the Browns to the Eagles to the Cowboys to the Jaguars. I couldn't have been more wrong on Martin Rucker. It was bad.
Yes. Yes, Martin Rucker was not fantastic. He was on the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, third team was the Cowboys.
Third team was the Cowboys. Yes. All right. Old McDonald, 10 spot.
Hey!
Hashtag sauce. Old McDonald's the one who finally won that freaking Klein saucer print. I hope you have that, I don't know, above your shitter or something. You can see it every morning.
In his ceiling, in his bedroom.
That's perverted. Good to see Old McDonald. Thank you for that, sir.
Mounties had a great game.
I saw one in the comments that actually, Zach Mettenberger, Ellis Gregor coming through.
Oh, yeah.
Man, the people love Mettenberger. They had him, you're right, they had him as early as the second. He had just had a rifle of arm, and I believe he was in the XFL last. Something weird.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And I don't think he did very good.
No. So I think, you got him more your old coach.
I mean, there's been plenty, but those are the ones that really stick out.
Yeah, but I got to give you credit. You've been right on a few ones. Like, you're really high on Vincent Jackson when he came out. He had a great career in the NFL. Thank you. Andrew Wingard was a recent one where he hasn't been great, but I mean,
yes, he has.
The guy starts. So, it seems that your crushes pan out a little bit more than mine, but there's always time to catch up.
Maybe that means Elijah Vera Tucker is going to pan out.
Maybe. I do not have a crush on him. But let's talk about some guys that we do have crushes on this year. Maybe some lower round guys. For me, I'm a big Marvin Wilson guy. I just think you let him just rush the passer, worry about one thing. He can be disruptive. If he falls around 4 or 5, I'd be all over that guy. I like Ian Book late as just a quarterback who can come in and kind of give you something different. He's, never going to be mechanically sound, not going to have a strong arm, but you let him scramble around, create shit. I love that a lot about him. And then also just Jalen Darden, another guy I really like. He's tiny, but very wiggly, hard to bring down, hard to tackle. Just a few of my crushes late in this draft off the top of my head here.
Yeah, Jack Anderson, offensive lineman from he's got his beautiful mustache. I love him. You already mentioned Book. Concordia has got a pass rushing beast that I would absolutely love in this. He'll probably be undrafted. Let's be real. Chris Garrett, he had like 36 and a half career sacks in 3 years. Minnesota boy. Would love the shit out of that. There's always some small school Minnesota guy. Like last year was Shane Zylstra, Brennan Zylstra's brother. Who was the other one? There's a receiver before that. We brought him in.
I think someone's at your door. It's a Schwan man.
I'm not moving on until we remember who this guy was. He got cut.
Hank Basket?
All right, we can move on, but I do not remember his name. Somebody help me out. He went. I don't think it was Mankato.
What year are you talking here?
It was only like 2 years ago.
He was a Minnesota guy?
Yep. I can't think of it. Let's move on. It's killing me.
Who's the dude from the Bulldogs that was drafted? Was he drafted or signed by the Saints after the draft?
I don't remember his name. I do not remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's a linebacker. All right. I'm going to find out who this guy was. The name is going to be very familiar. I promise.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about right now.
He got cut. It was very sad. Felipe Franks. Yes. We just talked about him. A lot of mid-round quarterbacks that are very interesting. A lot of running backs. Chuba Hubbard's going to be an interesting one to see where he goes. A lot of receivers like a Cade Johnson. You already mentioned Darden. Yeah, there's the mid to later rounds are usually my favorite rounds to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Eskridge and our quarterback, Jimmy Newman, I love. I mean, there's just so many safeties we could talk about safeties all day long. So it just seems like every round there's a good safety that we like. So tons of loves in this draft. We'll see how it all shakes out and how many picks the Vikings actually keep, too, because they can move around and definitely just take 5-6 guys instead of the 14 we're projected.
All right. Are we gonna hop into this mock draft?
Was it Isaac Frichte? Is that who you're thinking of?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, wow. I liked your voice on that one. It was very scary.
I'm just pissed off. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know. Not Frichte. Is that the guy from Jesse? That's really weird. All right. Let's do this.
Let's do it. All right. We're going to share this. We are going to go rotate picks. Chime in the comments because there's going to be some picks that we're probably just damn fools on.
Well,
I can't get this receiver out of my mind.
I do feel like the draft is kind of starting to take shape. I mean, at least player-wise, I think we all kind of got it narrowed down who are going to be the top 13 guys off the board. Could be a couple surprises in there, but for the most part, this thing is really starting to come into fruition a little bit.
Oh yeah, let's do this. And I'm starting off with pick 1. I get the odds tonight. Luppagus gets the evens, which means he gets the Vikings, and it'll probably take Christian Darrisaw. I'm going to predict that right off the bat.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I might do it.
All right. Well, unfortunately, with the evens comes the Jaguars pick, which is the most boring. So let's just get that over with. Trevor Lawrence, boom.
Zach Wilson is pretty much a given as well. So I don't think there's going to be any surprises in the top 2.
Ooh, and we get to the 49ers. And this is where it's going to be fun. Jordan Shipley, yeah. I wanted him pretty bad, too.
Who didn't?
He had a brother come out a couple years after that, didn't he? Like Jackson or something? Am I making him up?
Oh, man, there was a Jackson Shipley.
There was somebody Shipley. I wanted him.
Of course,
I really wish somebody would figure out which player I'm talking about here. I want to say it started with a W. All right, 49ers on the clock. A lot of Mac Jones scuttlebutt. Even was it McShay? Somebody, or was it Kuiper? Somebody just had Mac Jones going there too. And I'm sorry, I'm just not drinking that Kool-Aid at all. I think I think it's going to be Justin Fields. Mac Jones is just a little too crazy to trade up for a guy that is he even better than Jimmy Garoppolo when he's healthy? It's just gross to me. I think they got to swing big. You don't give up that type of capital and take Mac Jones or taking Justin Fields. Mac Jones, Niners.
What did the guys say from draft day? People pay to get wet, and I think Justin Fields gets Niners fans wet.
I think that's gross, but I think you're right. I think if it was Fields over Mac Jones, I think they'd be soaked. Because if I'm a Niners fan right now, and the thought of taking Mac Jones after trading those picks, I would have pants full of shit.
Yeah, and you look at his pro day. This guy's missing throws at his pro day. You just don't see that. Overthrowing guys. It was completely bizarre. But again, the thing that makes me feel like they moved up to get Mac Jones is they did it without seeing Justin Fields pro day. They did it right after I think it was Mac Jones' first pro day. So that's very telling, but maybe they've backed off and they've maybe realized, hey, we shouldn't just take him because we think he fits our system and actually take the best quarterback prospect on the board instead.
And I was watching, I don't remember what show it was, and they had the best point. I couldn't agree with it more, is that Niners are supposed to be the quarterback guru. They can take anybody and make them fantastic, and yet they have to trade up all their picks just to go get one.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, there's a lot of points there. All right, let's move on. Pick 4. This one is kind of interesting to me. I think it can go two ways here. Assuming the Falcons stay home and keep this pick, but I think they're going to go with Kyle Pitts. Give Matt Ryan his weapon. Matt Ryan loves tight ends. He does better when he has a solid tight end on the field. Kyle Pitts is more than just that. He's more of a receiver. Huge body. I think there's been people now saying he's the best overall prospect in this draft. So Falcons, if that's true and you believe it, you take him at pick 4.
Wow. I could definitely see it. I'm starting to really lean towards the Falcons taking a quarterback of the future. I don't know. Even if it's a Trey Lance, whoever it is, I'm kind of hopping on that board. But yes, Jake Weineke. He's right.
Oh, yeah,
Jake Weineke. That's absolutely who it is.
Yeah, Jake Weineke. You really failed on that one.
Well, okay. San Diego State from Minnesota. That's what it was. All right, man. Well done.
I'm glad you can focus now.
You're right. I actually can. I was having a tough time there. That was really bothering me. All right. Pick 5 Bengals. Another one that's just like, holy shit, where are they going to go? Jamar Chase, Penny Sewell. This one's very tough for me. I'm having a tough go at it here, but I, as much as I want to give them Jamar Chase, pair him up with their boy Joe Burrow. I don't like the fact that Chase has fallen this far, but I'm actually going to give him Rashawn Slater. I think he's the more athletic tackle. I think he's a better pass blocker. Joe Burrow needs to stay his ass on his feet. Penny Sewell, yes, he is fantastic, but I think when all is said and done, I think Slater could leap Penny Sewell as the first tackle off the board, and the Bengals need him.
Well, I get it. I mean, it's possible, but I would go Sewell there. But okay, Dolphins. Oh, the question is, do they want the receiver or do they want the protection? It's a tough one. Again, I think picks 4 through 6, they could go so many different ways. Really, if you're looking for some early intrigue in the draft, this is where you're going to find it. Yeah, I'm going to go Penei Sewell here for the give to us some, a left tackle he can grow and live behind for the next decade. So, again, Jamar Chase, very, very tempting, and now this probably means he ends up in the division unless they go quarterback. But I think the best thing the Dolphins can do is get that sure thing left tackle.
Wow, yeah, the Lions sprint to the podium because Jamar Chase, unfortunately, is coming in the NFC North, and he might even make Jared Goff look good a few times.
Yeah, he might. But you know what? We've dealt with the Lions having good receivers in the past. I ain't scared to deal with that again, especially if what's his name? Goff is throwing the ball. Not worried one bit. So none of the Panthers are sitting here pick 8 thinking, shit, why the hell did we trade up for Sam Darnold? We could have had Trey Lance. But they also need help at corner, so I think they take the best in the draft in Patrick Surtain here. Shore up that secondary.
Patrick Surtain. Wow. All right. That's a good pick.
Keep pounding.
All right. Well, the Broncos, they're definitely going quarterback. Just a matter of if they want the quicker return or the higher upside down the road. And I am actually, this one's pretty easy for me. I do love Trey Lance, but I'm going Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones has the quicker return. I think he's a safer pick. And in 3 years, the Bronco fans will be very upset because Trey Lance is absolutely ripping shit up.
Yeah, and they should be upset. All right, Cowboys. They're not loving what they're seeing here. I think they were kind of hoping for Kyle Pitts or Surtain, but I think they just go ahead and take J.C. Horn. They do need help in cornerback, and I think they go with who I love to call the Hornosaurus.
The Hornosaurus. Cowboys get their cornerback. Jalen Waddle still on the board. Damn. Devontae Smith still on the board. Trey Lance still on the board. Woo. Shit. Giants are like, oh, my God. I want Trey Lance so bad. But it ain't gonna happen. Giants got if this is how it shakes out, the Giants are on the phone and they are calling everybody because there's too much damn good talent on the board right now, and the Giants need all the help they can get. So
their phone is probably ringing. You got the Patriots sitting down there, you got Washington down there, Chicago down there. So I think they're definitely have a slew of trade offers right now.
They do. Unfortunately, we're not going to do a trade because that is boring and lame, and it's going to mix it all up. Instead, I have the Giants. I had them pegged with this guy very, very early, and then I shied away. But I think when all is said and done, Micah Parsons is actually going to go still in the top, maybe even 10 picks, and the Giants get that edge rusher, and they take Micah Parsons. They pass on the receivers. They go with the defense. They need it.
No, there's a lot you can do with Micah Parsons. So, the Eagles sitting there. I mean, this is just working out great for them. They were going to sit at 6, probably take one of these guys regardless. So I think they're going Jalen Waddle, who's actually my favorite receiver in this draft. Just a gear you don't see. I mean, he turns on the top speed. No one's catching him. So now you got Jalen Hurts playing quarterback, Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Reagor. Yeah, we did it. We got the Jalen trifecta.
Wow. That was all right. It's Chargers on the board, the one team that could snipe the Vikings at a handful of positions. They need offensive line, they need an edge rusher. So this when the Chargers are on the clock, my very tight underpants that night will be sweaty and full. But this one's pretty easy for me. I'm going Christian Darrisaw. They got that beautiful quarterback with that beautiful arm, and now he's got that beautiful protection that he desperately needs.
Yes, no, the Vikings are on the clock here. Looking at the options: Trey Lance, Devontae Smith, Elijah Vera Tucker, Jalen Phillips. Clearly a favorite.
Don't blow your load here. Let's see in the comments who the Lupagus should take and see if he completely steps on his hog.
No, I know who I'm taking.
Really? I know who. I know. Well, Devontae Smith is going to be very. I actually think he will be on the board when the Vikings pick. I think they probably will pass on him, but that is going to be pretty tempting.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, I don't think we're going to see these three guys on the board because I do think teams will trade up to make sure that, it doesn't go this way. So I can see two of the three being available for sure, but all three, I don't think that would actually happen. But I'm seeing a lot. Oh, if I'm in control.
SSM Creations, 5 bones, baby. Thank you, sir. And Elijah Vera Tucker. Me and SSM are very much on the same page with Vera Tucker, but with these options, with Trey Lance there, as much as I don't want a quarterback, Trey Lance shouldn't be there. So yeah, I mean, they're going to be on the phone. They're going to be trying to trade back if this is this scenario.
I think the potato is my new favorite guy.
What do you mean the potato?
Mateo Gallardo the potato. He says ABT makes him puke.
Where do you see that? Oh, there he is. Freaking potato.
Potato, God, reveal yourself.
Hey, by the way, hey, I'm putting my anybody watching. We're doing a fan mock draft or viewer mock draft, whatever we're gonna call it, where we're gonna get you guys. We're gonna hook up with you guys. Get a video from you, put it all together for an episode. So hit us up if you're interested. We already got a couple. I know SSM are in. So anybody watching, I'm going to put my email in the comments. Hit me up after this or right now and let me know if we'll get you on there.
A mock, just a collab of people making the pick at 14.
Just the Vikings pick. All you're doing is sending a video of you making the Vikings pick, hopefully shotgunning a beer with your shirt off or something.
Speaking of the Vikings pick, the pick is in, and with the 14th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, Minnesota Vikings select quarterback Trey Lance, North Dakota State. Woo! Yes! We did it! We got him!
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has to happen. If you can't find somebody to trade back, Lupagus and I were talking about this before we started going live. Is my biggest concern isn't Trey Lance. This would be a perfect case scenario. He comes into a spot where he's not going to beat out Kirk Cousins. He gets to sit behind, whether you like it or not, a pretty good quarterback and learn for a year, 2 years. The shitty part is we all know that Kirk Cousins goes in big old waves, ups and downs, and he could have a horseshit game. And the first time he throws an incomplete pass, everybody's going to be clamoring for Trey Lance, a quarterback who is not ready.
They do that regardless. They did it when we had Kyle Sloter.
They don't do it when we got Sean Mannion.
Well, they did it first
year. Not call for Sean Mannion.
Backup quarterback's always the most popular person on the team. You can't do it for that reason. It worked out fine for the Packers, going from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Not saying,
wow,
it's the same situation, but.
Did you just compare Kirk Cousins to Brett Favre?
No, I'm just saying you have an established quarterback, a guy up and coming. Maybe they both pan out. Really, here's the argument you can make. The Vikings defense is already light years better than it was a season ago. Just with the guys coming back, the guys they've added, very much improved. You're going to be way better there than you were last year. The Vikings played with a shit O-line last year. Yes, it's worse right now than it was, but you can shore up the guard positions in rounds 2 or 3, rounds 3 and 4. Excuse me. So you can actually afford to do this, and I still think you can compete in 2021 and have your quarterback of the future on the roster. That's my argument here.
I'm not gonna argue that selection. I
don't think he'll be there.
I don't know. We'll see. Again, it comes down when we look at the draft. It's going to come down to like the Niners pick. It's going to come down to the Dolphins, the Bengals. Those guys really, Falcons too. They hold the key to how goofy this draft is going to get.
Yeah, I mean, again, and there's probably going to be a pick that no one sees coming. At least one. There's guys. Quiddy Pay is a guy who could. You've seen him. I've seen him going to 4. I've seen him going to the Giants. Zaven Collins, a guy who's supposed to get a lot of buzz. The Joker, another player I think could sneak up there. So Tevin Jenkins is a guy building steam as the draft gets closer. You just don't know what these teams are going to do. And again, these guys teams could have completely different rankings when it comes to you're projecting guys based on 2 years ago. So a little different than most years. So this could be crazy. But right now, I think we at least got the right 14 players, give or take, going in these spots.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, there's going to be some guys that go a lot sooner. But also, I think there's going to be some guys that are surprisingly falling. And Trey Lance, I don't think he's going to fall, but he could be one that if all of a sudden he starts to dip a little bit, goes further than expected. I think Devontae Smith could be a player that could fall a little bit. When I say fall, I don't mean like to the mid-20s. I just mean like 15, 16, 17, getting that range. Quiddy Pay, Greg Rousseau, all those guys, it's going to be very, very interesting. And Ellis Gregor and anybody else who wants to do it, email me, and then I'll let you know what you do as far as getting into that fan mock draft. And that's the email again. So definitely hit me up. We want to get as many guys as possible in this episode. And like I said, hopefully there's a beer in your hand. We get to see that face. Old McDonald should be doing it on the shitter with this sauce hanging up behind him.
Don't wipe yourself with that. That was very expensive.
And Venomous, if you're still here, maybe you passed out from the scotch. We fully expect you.
Hell yeah. And I do want to say one thing. If that would have Mac Jones there at 14, I would not have pulled the trigger. Not a Mac Jones fan.
Yeah, no. Mac Jones, uninterested.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. He's got my build, and I don't want my quarterback looking like me with my shirt off.
If the only thing I'd say is I probably would have preferred just trading back.
Yeah, if that would have been an option. I mean, if Lance is there, good chance you're getting a first round pick next year and probably your second back. So yeah.
Trade back to pick 19, not 20. I want to trade with the Bears, but trade back, get that second round pick, get that Wyatt Davis, get that Quinn Miners.
Yeah, you can upgrade this whole line. It doesn't have to be in the first round. Look at the potato. I wonder if it's just me under a different alias or what. We're on the same page with ABT, man. You watch. You don't see him do it, and that to me
it takes a real man to admit you want to guard at 14, and I'm that man.
If I'm taking a guard at 14, he better be putting players on his ass, and ABT doesn't do that. So
guards don't put players on their ass.
You ever seen Quentin Nelson?
Are you going to compare him to Quentin Nelson?
But if you're taking a guard that high, he better be damn near that level.
Quentin Nelson went like 5, didn't he?
Yeah, and if you're taking a guy at 14, you should be at least close to that.
And yes, Noah, we're on the same page here. There has not been a good Alabama quarterback. I think you got to go back to Joe Namath.
Well, I mean, jury's still out on Tua, so we don't know there, but
didn't look great.
Oh, he only had 9 games?
Oh, so you're on the Tua train, but not the Elijah Vera Tucker all of a sudden?
You can't write him off. Don't get me wrong. If we take Vera Tucker, I'm going to hope to God he pans out, and I'll be rooting for him. But at this point, I'd rather go somewhere else.
Dickerson in round 2. Yep. Lupagus and I are definitely on the Dickerson train. No doubt about that. Ken Stabler. See, we're going back to like when I was still in my dad's balls.
You were in your dad's balls?
At one point, yes, it was. Yes, I was. Thank you for asking.
Getting a little science lesson today, too.
Yeah, well, we got 15 days. It's going to be an exciting 15 days. A lot of episodes coming up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and also definitely hit me up on the fan mock draft.
I think for the most creative one, I think maybe a little prize should be given out for that.
Ooh, you're right. Most creative. We'll have to think of something to give away for most creative, and also we're going to be doing the pre-draft party. Probably start at about 5:30. Just go live for an hour and a half before the draft. And then obviously afterwards we'll come on, probably be fairly inebriated.
Yeah, we will have an instant reaction vid. It'll be quick because I want to get back to the draft, but it'll be from the heart. It'll be honest. It'll be brutal. Hopefully, it's in a celebratory mood. Yeah, I think we can. Me and Patrick Harms have had our differences, but I do agree. Mac Jones not interested.
Uninterested. And yeah, we're gonna have fun in the next couple weeks. So hit me up. Putting it on there again.
Yeah. So we got anything else?
If I don't have an email by the time we log off, I'm gonna be very, very sad.
Well, you want one right now?
I want somebody to let me know they're doing it. We already have a handful of guys, so
yeah, we're gonna reach out beyond just the viewers as well. We're gonna try to get a nice mix of Vikings fans. Maybe get my father on after about 7 whiskey buckets, see who he predicts.
That's not good.
I think I know who it's gonna be. Carl Greasy.
Carl V. Greasy to you, sir. And yes, we love that Wassawa jersey. When will we hear from you? I emailed you today. You did, LS Gregor. I got you. I'm just being a little lazy there.
Wow, did you watch it?
Oh, he didn't email me the video. He just said he's in. SSM once again. And yes, everybody who's tuned in, thanks for coming in every damn week. Appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, I wake up Sunday morning looking forward to Wednesday night.
Oh my God.
I do. Anything else you got to add?
No, we'll be hot and heavy with the videos coming up, and this next like I said, next couple weeks are going to be very, very fun.
Doing a mailbag tomorrow. Send some questions in.
Yeah, more. Probably do a mailbag.
Hell yeah! I found out you were in your dad's mailbag just when Ken Taylor was tossing that ball around. All right, well let's end with this. You guys all know carrots as being orange, but originally they were purple.
My God, shocking.
I know it is.